Welcome back, Com 100. You've made it to the halfway point, which is Unit 5. In Unit 5, we are going to be looking at a speech analysis, and you're going to be completing a worksheet. In this unit, there are 3 different speeches for you to review. You're going to review them and then pick one that you want to complete the speech analysis worksheet on. In this unit, you might run across a speech that is called an after dinner speech or an ADS. The idea behind this speech is that the individual uses humor as a vehicle to make a serious point. So if you find the jokes funny, awesome. If you find them bad, that's okay too. But the idea behind that speech is that the individual uses humor as a vehicle to help you, the audience, understand a serious topic. So in this quick lecture, I'm just going to be covering some of the questions that I often get in this assignment. The first common question that I get is on ethos, pathos, and logos. If you're unsure of what these mean, here's a quick little rundown. So ethos is looking at the individual's credibility. So with this, consider how does this individual build their credibility throughout their presentation? Perhaps you want to comment on the clothes that they are wearing, as well as what they are doing that makes you perceive them as being credible or maybe even an uncredible individual. Next, pathos. Pathos is looking at an individual's emotional appeals. How are they connecting with their audience and getting their audience to connect with the topic that they're bringing to the table? So take some time, consider how are they utilizing humor, or maybe how are they building up to a moment to really get you, this virtual audience, to connect with their speech topic. Finally, logos. Logos is looking at those logical appeals. So consider the arguments that the individual is making. What are their main points? And how do they get you from point A to point B? And are you really buying what they're selling? So maybe they're trying to persuade you on something or take you on this journey from point A to point B. Are you able to follow along? Does the logic that they're putting out make sense? Next, each of these speeches that I have picked out for you have 3 main points. And the speaker is going to be covering those 3 main points in their introduction whenever they preview their points. Then they are going to be working their way through point 1, point 2, and point 3, and then recapping their main points at the end of the presentation in a review. You need to be able to identify those 3 main points. In addition, in the worksheet, it's going to ask you to share some of the evidence that the speaker discussed and used as sources in their presentation. You are going to want to incorporate the source and the date in your worksheet. So take some time whenever you're listening to identify what those 3 main points are, as well as some of the evidence that they are using within their presentation. Finally, some people say that, I really enjoyed this presentation. I can't think of anything as a least appealing element. That's a lie. I guarantee you can. So whenever you're thinking of the least appealing elements, consider what would you have liked the speaker to elaborate on? Maybe there was a point you're like, hey, that point was really short. I really wanted to know more. That could be a least appealing element. In addition, maybe you didn't understand something. Think back to logos. They're taking you from point A to point B. Maybe there's something that just didn't make sense to you. So you wanted them to elaborate upon it because you didn't quite understand it. And then finally, think about what might needed more of an explanation. Some of these speeches are going to have solutions. Are you able to enact that solution? So what needs more explanation and what is going to make this speech a better presentation in the future? So I'm excited to see what you come up with. All right, folks, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. My email is always in the syllabus, but again, it's b.e.miller2@sunyocc.edu. So I look forward to seeing your speech analysis assignments complete, and I will see you in Unit 6.